not much they come, who go there and play the fool. There are many who are on business, you know. The worst of that I've seen in Portugal and Spain and Italy. And that's one of the places, those are the places that Africans have always gone to. Turkey and Greece. Population there are, well, they're trying their best to become European. But before, the EU came along and their status was taken away, you know. The people who call themselves Arabs, their financiers, who are now joining the Caucasian to call themselves a Jew. Yes, that's the way it is. They're married into the European lineage, shaking off their African roots. Now being absorbed and going around the world causing trouble. See, I know the story. That's why I keep telling people, don't name yourself after them, what they name themselves. Every man is allowed to form his own, you know. I can call myself any other name. And then as the family grew, the name spread, become known. And that's what happened. That some of us integrated, spread across Europe. And now, good morning. All right. And now we look like the European. We don't look like the European. The European dominant. Skin color is gone, hair is gone, facial features is gone. But it started out with that foundation. It started out with that foundation of the Hebrew people. And now it's like a house. You start with a foundation and you build on it. And then somebody comes along and build it by your house, knock down a few of the walls, change everything. It's no longer the same house. It's no longer the same house. That's why, like I said, I tell my people, those who will listen, don't call yourself after that, because you are now following in that footsteps. Imagine that we married the African, go to China and Japan. And if you look back at Japanese and Chinese story, you'll see that black foundation. And now, good morning. Now, the people who call Chinese, different color, different facial features, language, mannerisms. And if you hear them speaking, and the Caucasian talk about their culture, they said it's been established for 5,000 years. Established upon what? Or by whom? You get me? I listened to a program yesterday. There's a man called Victor Gao who is like a unofficial spokesperson for the Chinese. He has a knowledge of the West that is like very good, I would say. Excellent. Good morning. Excellent. And he will, anytime the West does something, he will break down why they did it, how they did it, when it started, and how it's going to end. But he also knows Chinese history, Japanese history, what do you call Asian history, how things start, where, when. And he was talking to Africans. He made a video talking to Africans. He said, look, I've been to Africa, and I've listened to the leaders, I've listened to African people, and they're always worried about America. And some talking about what China is doing, they're following the script. I said, but the one thing that they're forgetting to look at is what's good for them. This is where we started out. What's best for Africans? He said Africans don't do that. As a people, they don't do that. As a person, some might do it. You know, one here, one there. But as a people, they don't do it together. Shoot, I'm going over my, too long now. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of this. As a people, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And what they're supposed to do is compare the two systems that they're all concerned about. So the Europeans, they no longer have a viable system. And America is not going to let them. America is not going to allow them to establish anything that's going to rival them, America. So you got the Chinese, the Russians, and America. So you have to look at these to see which one will benefit you when you're building that foundation for yourself. Don't wait for the European to build it for you, or America, or China, or Russia. So when you're building that foundation for yourself, you gotta find out which one is best for you. And like the Chinese, you give it Chinese characteristics. Your own people. See, you're building on what foundation that you have, culture and all that. Some of it you change, most of it you keep, because you're building for Africa. And as I listened to him speak, I was laughing, because from what I see, African do like my dad, leave Barbados and go build some European, England, and then the European throw you out, you go back home. England, you might have some money, but now you're at an age where you can't build anything. You're just living off those resources. When I say you can't build anything, you still can. But if you're building a house and you're an elder person, the person you hire to build a house for you gonna have an ideas about what he wants your house to look like. And no matter, I've seen it in Africa too. I'm building a house and I'm telling them how to build a house, because I want my walls to be standing, not cracking by the time the house. I don't want the foundation to be cracking by the time they're half finished with the house. And the African architect that I had, when I started pulling up the drawings, were telling me about how the blocks are not weight bearing, are not for weight bearing. That's what the columns are for. And I'm looking at him, I said, is this an engineer talking? Somebody who went to school to study this stuff? Mind you now, my field is not. The mechanical, or my son is more mechanical engineering than me. He went to school to study that. Mine is electronics. But I still learned enough about what I'm talking about to know that if you put blocks that are 60% sand, making a wall, the wall is going to crack. Everything, the rain is going to wash the sand out of that block. The heat and cold is going to, it's going to weaken it. It's going to crack. Your foundation is going to crack. Your wall is going to crack. Your house. I saw floors. Up to the first floor of a house is cracking. Go to the second floor and there's holes in the second floor. Cracks. The floor is falling through. And the Gambian look at me and tell me, that's no problem. It's easy to fix. I had to leave his house. He wanted to rent me that thing. Me to bring my, whoever I bring in that house. I've seen houses, water running out of the walls. Because they put the pipes into the walls. After you build a house, the plumber comes along and break the blocks, maybe 2 inches out of all the blocks, going up to the second floor. And that pipe in there breaks. The walls, all the sand runs out of your wall now. You only got about 15-20% cement in there. That's not enough. But that's what happened. Between the age of 20 and 45, that's the age group men make changes to the earth. When you get to be 50 or 60 and you have accumulated your money and you go to get what you want built, people got their own ideas of how to build it for you. I start building, and I left to go somewhere. When I come back, when I return to what I told, to look at what I told the builder to do, he's got something else built there. Not what I wanted. And he'll convince me that it's just as good as what I asked him to do. So that's what the problem is with us. And that's what Victor Gao was talking about. Can't let another man build what you want. You're going to get what he wants, but you're going to pay for it. And that's what we are facing in Africa today. If you walk around Africa, you will see buildings that you'll wonder where they came from. Nothing like it being built in Africa today. And me and other historians talking about Africa say, hey, that's African. But they're not saying which African it is. The African that built those, from the pyramids from North Africa all the way to South Africa, from east to west. The Africans that built those structures. The mentality is gone because of integration into the European mentality. Today's African hasn't lost it totally, almost there. The Chinese are building a system. They call it the Belt and Road. String of pearls. And it's benefiting a lot of people. Africa now has structures where it didn't have before. A lot of Africans are benefiting from it. While America and Britain, like I said from the beginning, the Caucasian people are going into poverty. and trying to squeeze the rest of the world to get the resources, to slow down the process of them going to be into poverty. The Chinese are pulling all their people out of China, out of poverty. And then you have the Indians who keeping deliberately their people in poverty. And the Africans leaders are doing the same thing. Not just the leaders in Africa, leaders in the Caribbean, wherever African people are. But the houses that I see, the earth is going to take this thing back. Nobody believes that the earth is thinking, living, is not thinking. A living being, just like a man. We are like a cell to the earth. Tree, another cell. Animal, another cell. And then the earth itself is a cell in our galaxy. And our galaxy is another cell in the universe. This is one massive life form. Sometimes I don't like to speak on this subject because it's not African people who will hear this and say, man, you know, I understand the situation. Let me go ahead and do something. This is not general knowledge. And I've said in videos before, it's not the increase in knowledge. People believe, like their Bible says, in the end times there will be an increase in knowledge. An increase in knowledge. The knowledge is here all the time. It is just that was being hidden. People are hiding things that is now coming into view. And sometimes it is not good to speak on stuff like this because the wrong people hear it and then they formulate the obstacle. Anyway, have a great day wherever you are. Peace.